Okay, we're going live.
All right. If we're all ready, I think we'll go ahead and get started.
Bear with us. Give us one moment.
Oh, okay. I'll wait for your nod or your smile.
I think we're live.
Okay, thank you, Carissa. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regular board business meeting on this day, July 9th of 2020. Because of the current pandemic, until further notice, all of our board meetings will be held under this electronic and telephone means. We will also be streaming live on YouTube. So if you are interested in seeing this meeting, it will be recorded and archived on our website. And so with that, we will get started with the roll call.
Okay. Director Burns.
I think he should be joining us.
I think just a note, it's still 7:58, so others might be jumping in.
We're a little early, are we? Thank you, Shelley.
Yeah.
Well, would we like to go ahead with the roll call, or do you want to pause for a few minutes?
I think
Mark.
we don't have Jen yet either.
Morning, Mark.
Yes. Let's just pause for a minute or two and wait for one more board member. Or I suppose we could go ahead and.
There she is.
There we go. Hi. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. So with the roll call, please, Sherry.
Director Burns,
Here.
Director Pearson,
Here.
Director Pelletier,
Here.
Director Potachik,
Here.
Director Riley,
Here.
Director Weisberg, absent, and Chair Stibland.
Here.
You have a quorum?
All right, thank you very much. Can I get an approval of the agenda this morning?
So moved.
Director Riley moves. Can we get a second? Director Potachik?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. All in favor of the agenda this morning?
Director Burns,
Yes.
Director Pearson,
Yes.
Director Pelletier,
Yes.
Director Potachik,
Yes.
Director Riley,
Yes.
Chair Stibland,
Yes.
unanimous.
All right, thank you. So we have on the agenda this morning just the consent agenda, and I will list them off. And if there's any questions or concerns about each of them, I'll have you request to have those items removed before we make a motion to approve the list. So item A is the minutes of June 23rd, special meeting. Item B is the minutes of June 25th, business meeting. Item C is the minutes of June 30th, the special meeting. Item D is the disbursement register of June 27th through July 10th. Item E is the human resources personnel report. And F is the election filing dates resolution. Are there any questions or concerns about each of these items? Director Burns.
Thank you. I'd like to just treat item F, I'd like to pull that from the consent. Just
Okay.
have a couple of questions about it. Thanks.
All right, very good. Anything else? Director Potachik?
I would like to separate D, disbursement register.
Okay. Anything else? All right, so if I understand, we'll be pulling item D and F. So then I'd like a motion, please, to approve A, B, C, and E.
So moved.
Director Potachik, Director
Also
Burns.
move.
Okay, so we'll give it to Mark Burns and second with Director Potachik. And it looks like Liz is joining us. Awesome.
Welcome.
All right. I guess we can wait. Hi, Liz, welcome. We're just about to vote for for the consent agenda?
With
A-
the exception of D.
Right, A, B, C, and E. If we're ready to vote, let's go ahead with the roll call, Sherry.
Director Burns,
Yes.
Director Pearson,
Yes.
Director Pelletier,
Yes.
Director Potacek,
Yes.
Director Riley,
Yes.
Director Weisberg,
Yes.
Chair Stivland.
Yes,
You have a unanimous vote.
thank you. All right, let's take item D first.
Oops.
We'll just go in alphabetical order. And I'll turn it over to Director Potacek.
Yes, actually, three items that I'd like to look at from the disbursement register. The first has to do with the rental lease, and a separate but equal amount is for the security deposit. Both of these are to rent the bus facility at Stagecoach. And the original one there is for $40,000, which is our first month of rent. And the other $40,000 is for security deposit. And for those of our viewers who don't know this, I think many people do. At this present time, we're not able to use the Hudson Boulevard terminal. So that has forced us to go elsewhere and to lease places to park most, not quite all, but most of our buses. So that's the first two disbursements I'd like to talk about. And then the third one is really related, and that's on page 20. And it has to do with legal expenses from Lavander, Gillen, Miller. And this one actually goes for bus terminal developments for service through May 31st, 2020. And this bill is for $6,304.13. And that brings our total amount of money that we've spent for our legal advocacy to well over $105,000. So I thought all three of those were worth noting. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments about item D? Director Pelletier?
Thank you. Director Protasic, could you share, I know that you've brought up this, the legal fees quite a bit, not out of the general fund, the ones that you're discussing. Could you maybe share with the public what your rationale is for raising this? Do you have an opinion on this, or are you just raising it for, I don't know what? So maybe could you just speak
Yeah.
a little more to that?
Thank you. Thank you for your question. My point is two things. One is that I continue to get emails, and I think all other board members do too, asking about what's happening with the Hudson Boulevard property. And the simple answer is we're unable to access it at this point. And because of that, there are other expenses. And first I alluded to already was the rental and lease for property as well as a security deposit on a Stagecoach. And the other is that we are trying to get access to the bus terminal and utilize that. And for that purpose, we've hired counsel, and we've spent over $105,000 in an attempt to get that. So it's not like we're not trying to deal with it. We are, and this the legal profession, as Mark and others know much better than I do, it's persistent, but it's also very slow, and many times it's very costly as well.
Director Pelletier?
Thanks, Mike. And I agree, and I appreciate you bringing up the cost of the lease at the Stagecoach property, and also for the purpose of the public. That Stagecoach facility is where we used to be. We grew out of it quite quickly, which is why we have been kind of on a long search for a terminal that would serve our needs. And I just think it speaks to our need to continue to advocate for a property that we own outright that actually can service all of the buses on that one site, as opposed to the situation we're in right now. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments on the disbursement report? Director Potacek?
Seeing none, I would move for adoption and approval of item D, disbursement register.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Director Pearson seconds. Are we ready to vote? All right, let's do a roll call, Sherry.
Director Burns,
Yes.
Director Pearson,
Yes.
Director Pelletier,
Yes.
Director Potacek,
Yes.
Director Riley,
Yes.
Director Weisberg,
Yes.
Chair Stivland.
Yes,
You have a unanimous vote.
thank you. All right, and let's move on to item F. And this is the election filing dates resolution. I'll turn it over to you, Director Burns.
Thank you, Chair Stivlin. So this resolution, so the public is aware, relates to the 4-year school board terms for 3 seats that will be coming available at the end of this year, but up for election in November. For those members of the public who are not aware yet, I have announced my resignation to the board effective later this month, July 23rd. So along with Director Pearson's resignation, there will be an additional 2 seats that will be up for, I believe the plan is it will be up for election in a special election at the same time on the same ballot, possibly I believe in a different section, but there will be 5 seats being elected on November 3rd. And so I wanted to, a question about this resolution. And by the way, I'll be making a little bit more comment, hopefully in our meeting on July 23rd, but just so that the public is aware that I will be resigning as well. But for this resolution, it identifies that we're going to have a filing period beginning on July 28th for these 3 seats that will be the 4-year term seats that will be expiring at the end of this year. My question is, I guess, to the board is, do we intend to have a similar resolution put forward with similar filing dates for the 2 seats for the special election? Is that the plan? Because this resolution only addresses the 3 seats for the general election. And I guess that's a question to Chair Stivland. Is it the intent of the board that we're going to be having a similar resolution for the 2 special election seats?
Yes, that is the case. We can't, we will be having that resolution on the 23rd, officially accepting the resignation for both of you.
Okay.
And we'll have this at the same time, the resolution establishing the election, the special election. That language will be available. We can't actually approve that language until we formally accept the resignation. So we have to do it in the right order. But yes, we'll have multiple resolutions on the 23rd relating to this and a lot more information.
Okay, I just wanted to make that clear. I understand that we can't necessarily vote on that today.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make clear that if there are questions out there in the public about, which there have been, about different seats having a little bit different rules, but there will be a resolution, and I assume that it will be a similar, if not identical, filing period for those candidates wishing to seek election to the seats being vacated by resignation.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
correct. Yeah.
Well, with that, those are my
So
questions.
actually, let me just clarify. The process for the appointment of these 2 seats we will be appointing someone for the two open seats. And that process is separate, but the special election should follow the same as the regular election.
Okay,
So we'll be appointing two people to fill each of the open seats. And that process is going to be finalized at our special meeting on Monday, the 13th. So all of the board members, all of us will be able to weigh in and decide what the final dates will be. And then we'll appoint someone to fill the two seats. Those seats will be filled then by those appointments until the election is certified. Once the special election is certified, then those two individuals who have run specifically for the 2-year openings will be sworn in immediately after the election is certified. So the appointments will just be for a few months, basically. And then the two new people who are elected by the community will serve the full 2-year terms that are left. And they will begin right away in November. Typically, we don't seat someone until January who's been elected. So it's going to be a very interesting fall. So just to clarify that, I appreciate the questions. We will have more information on the 13th as well at our work session when we talk it through. Did you have something further at all, Mark?
no, that's all I wanted to bring up as it relates to this resolution.
Okay, great.
So-
The only thing I guess I missed, I thought when we had created this document that we were going to, yes, okay, sorry, never mind. I'm getting confused even now. We will be finalizing the process for appointing people on Monday, and those dates are going to be different than these dates, but they're very similar. And so I was like, wait a second, we talked about a different date. This is correct. I'm sorry. Your good question actually confused me for a second there. So we're good. This is correct.
Okay, then assuming there aren't any other questions, I would move to approve the resolution establishing dates for filing affidavits of candidacy for these 3 seats.
Okay. Do we have a second?
A second.
Shelley seconds. Are there any other questions about this? This is the resolution to establish the dates for filing for a regular election. And the rest of it will be coming soon. Director Potacek?
Yeah, Chair Stivlin, would you remind our viewers what time the meeting is going to be on Monday?
Yes, so on Monday, July 13th, this coming Monday, we'll be having a meeting that begins at 5 o'clock. The first part of the meeting is going to be a closed session for legal counsel. And so the actual work of the meeting will happen sometime after that. I would guess probably around 6 o'clock, but I don't know exactly how much time we need to be meeting with the lawyer. So the meeting will officially start at 5. Does that help a little bit? Okay. Is there anything else, board members, before we vote? Okay. All right, Sherry, I think we're ready for our roll call vote for the resolution establishing dates for filing affidavits of candidacy.
Okay, Director Burns,
Yes.
Director Pearson,
Yes.
Director Pelletier,
Yes.
Director Potacek,
Yes.
Director Riley,
Yes.
Director Weisberg,
Yes.
Chair Stivland.
Yes,
You have a unanimous vote.
thank you. Mark, did you have something further you wanted to say before we adjourn, or are you feel comfortable?
No, I mean, maybe some who were surprised that I have come to a decision to resign my position here on the board effective later this month. It's not an easy decision by no means. In fact, oftentimes when you have a resignation, you feel relief for, in some way happy, and that's not my feeling. I'm disappointed, but it really is something that I have to do for my career and my family. So I'll be speaking to it more, hopefully if I'm given the opportunity at our meeting on July 23rd. But for now, just so the public is aware that I will be resigning my position here later this month, July 23rd.
All right. Thank you. Anybody else have any quick announcements before we need to adjourn? Director Pearson?
Just a quick, as maybe a more positive than losing Director Burns is I see Melinda Lansfeld here. I just want to formally welcome you and thank you for stepping into this position, and know you'll do great, and just appreciate what you're going to do.
Thank you, Chair Stidland and board directors. I appreciate this opportunity. I'm honored and humbled to be a part of this team, and I would not be doing this if I did not know that the talent, the passion, the commitment that our staff and families have for our kids in our district are here. This is my, I believe, 13th year in the district, and we're a team. And so I'm excited to be collaborating with everybody. And just a quick note, more information will be coming, but many people have been asking about our COVID-19 Smart Restart to school. A lot of activities going on. We just heard that the governor is coming out on July 15th with more information. It was supposed to be July 27th. Our district administrative team, they have been meeting weekly, multiple meetings. Just yesterday, our learning leaders, teaching staff came together with them to start planning. Next week, we have more teaching staff and school staff from across the district gathering. Our communications department is collecting a lot of survey feedback from families, and we will be bringing in stakeholders. We have a lot of people have been asking. Communications department put together a great document for our planning, and we're also collaborating with metro area districts and districts across the state to do this right by our kids. And then just one more thing, it's a huge focus that we want to have an equity lens with all of this. And Eric Anderson, Rachel Larson, and our team have put together immediate steps as well as short-term and long-term steps. We will be working with the model called Reimagine Minnesota. So we will be having Reimagine Stillwater. Some of the steps we'll be hiring with your approval that you just gave, a director, or not a director, but a district cultural liaison. So that position is being posted. We're meeting with students. Mary Lydon Tichu, the ALC principal, she has been meeting with restorative circles. Sarah, you have taken part of that, and it's just powerful. So more conversations. We start with conversations for change. So just a quick update. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I was going to give you a chance to say all that. I'm really glad you.
It's exciting work.
It is a lot. Yeah, and we're so
fun.
glad to have you here, Melinda. You have hit the ground running. I'm so excited for your leadership. And you're right, we have an incredible cohesiveness in our staff and in our community. There's a lot of talent. And I'm excited for what's coming ahead, even though these are really challenging times. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Anybody have anything else? All right. Well, with that then, I will declare this meeting is adjourned. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you.